From your point of view,
Okay.
how would you rate what's going on with Meek Mill and Drake?
The Meek and Drake situation, like Meek and Drake should have never happened. I couldn't imagine wanting someone to tweet my latest project. Like, I've never asked anyone to do that. Right?
You never asked me.
I've never asked you, right? Like,
right,
I've never even asked you.
Yeah. You said just include a link in the interviews.
As part of the business, but I'm not gonna be like, hey dude, can you tweet my, I just don't. When people ask me to do that, I don't do it. Because I'm not gonna promote your stuff and not mine. Especially if it's right before, like someone asked me to tweet out their book, but it was a week before my book came out. Yeah. So I'm not gonna tweet your book, I'm just not going to, okay? I'm not. If I'm reading a book and I like it, you know, but I don't take requests, okay? So it's a question that even as a woman, I wouldn't ask of anyone else. To me, if that is part of the root of how the Meek Mill Drake thing happened, that in itself is, but how old is Meek? Is he young? He seems very young.
They're both 28.
Okay, so to me, that's still kind of young. Because it seemed very childish, you know, a little bit, like. So that was mistake number one. I just want to say, as a grown man, you don't need another grown man to validate your existence by tweeting out your stuff. And if he doesn't do it, then you get upset. It's just really, I don't know. I guess kids in junior high might be going through the same thing.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Meek was upset, I remember, at Wale for not tweeting his album also. That was like a thing at one point.
It's all childish. All of it is high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have I would hope he has a publicist. I would hope you have a team of people who are pushing your album. It is no one else's job to push your album. It's no one else's job to push I don't go to my famous friends and say, hey, can you, I don't do that. I don't do that. Because it's just not what, come on. It's just weird. To me, it's weird. But then again, I'm someone who stands on my own merit. So I don't need other people to promote for me. Nor do I care to ask anyone really for anything. I'm not an asker. I'm not a beggar of things. I just get shit done. Yep. So that's a little strange.
Meek did have the #1 album in the country, though.
Absolutely.
And it was his first #1 as well.
Without anyone doing it.
With no tweets.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the thing, is you stand on your own merit, you just get shit done, and you don't ask anybody for anything. The work speaks for itself. Nobody can deny the work. Just do the work. What you do is when you do that and you start asking questions, it makes you seem meek, and in a way, and actually kind of weakens your stand, versus someone like Drake, who is not going to go to someone and say, hey dude, can you, he's not going to do that. Not only is he going to put it out, he's going to put it out without you even noticing it's coming out, and it'll just hit the internet and everyone's going to download it anyway. You know what I mean? So I think when you appear to grovel, even if it's just a simple question, people can take that as groveling, and it weakens your leverage just in life, which is why I don't ask people for shit. I just fucking don't, because then they'll go around talking about how much you ask them for something. You know what I mean? And you don't need to. You just don't need to. So that was unfortunate. And as far as the rap battle stuff goes, I am not like heavy into hip hop. I've never heard a Meek Mill song in my life, but everybody knows I'm a huge Drake fan. So I loved it, and it reminded me of Jay-Z and Nas. Really, people were pulling out like 50 Cent, Ja Rule beefs, but it wasn't the same. When Nas dropped Ether, right? It reminded me of when that's what I was reminded of when Drake dropped Back to Back. It was very Ether. It was very super dope, So I loved it. I loved it lyrically. I loved the business part of it. I loved seeing, again, psychology played a big part in the way Drake has and is still kind of running the show. I love, he's a smart kid. He's a smart kid, obviously raised by a very smart woman. And I loved the thought and the business behind it. And I heard that diss record on the radio the other day, and I thought, wow, that's dope. That was just dope. So I hope it's over. I know Meek is still, doing stuff. I wish he'd stop, you know.
You think he can stop at this point and actually recover?
You know, I think it's best to just let bygones be bygones. Because his initial record, now I don't think that Meek's initial record was even that bad. I don't think it was that bad.
I think a lot of people bashed it initially, but once some time has passed, like for example, I just interviewed Obi Trice this afternoon. He told me that he thought Meek's record was way better than Drake's record. That was his opinion as a rapper.
I think Meek won, and I think that people that actually think Drake won, that Charged Up was whack as fuck to me. I didn't like that. I didn't like Back to Back. It really wasn't. The nigga ain't really saying shit. Like, niggas gotta listen to fucking Meek, man.
I didn't think that it was bad. I just felt that people will side with Drake because he sells more records, has more money, because he's cuter, because the girls like him more. It's all these other reasons I think that come into play. And sometimes it's not just talent alone. When I listened to Meek's record, I didn't think it was garbage. I just didn't. I just thought like, okay. And there were some real incidences in there, you know, that I thought were...
The T.I. peeing thing and...
Yeah, the piss. And I'm just like, well, who... If Drake's letting people pee on them, then I feel like I should have got a call. I want to be in that line. But yeah, I didn't think it was that bad. I just feel like at some point though, I mean, I would let it go. I would let it go and let the work speak for itself. Just because you're not gonna win. I keep seeing, like, you know that scene in Rocky where Adrian's like at the side of the ring and she's like, you can't win. Like I feel like that's going on. I keep hearing that you can't win, because it's not only about the music. It's about imagery. It's about, you know, fandemonium and, you know, other things come into play.
So when you just said Drake's letting people pee on him, why didn't I get a call? What do you mean by that?
Listen, if somebody like Drake is just letting people randomly pee on him, I need to get a phone call.
Do you want to pee on Drake?
I don't, Vlad.
I mean, I'm asking. I'm trying to figure this out.
I'm not gonna let that be the soundbite. No. You will not have me saying that.
Okay.
I was joking.
What do you mean then?
I was joking.
You're joking.
But you know, it came out that it wasn't. No one peed on Drake directly.
Okay.
The person was drunk in a theater, had just came home from vacation, and just peed in a theater, and Drake just happened to be in the vicinity of the urination.
Right. The memes were going crazy. I remember there was an R. Kelly meme that said, "Oh, someone letting people pee on him?" Like, he like put his glasses down, like already, like.
Yeah, it was. You know, it was cute, but yeah.
Is it a diss or is it not a diss?
Nah, it ain't a diss. It just me stating facts, like letting you know, like that ain't something that we honor. Like we don't joke about that. Like we done lost homies over that shit. So it just letting you know I'm stating facts.
Like we never even he didn't care about that, man. Like,
oh, but he was doing a diss record.
Yeah, I mean, of course, because you got to understand, Eazy's a smart man. You know what I'm saying? And he always was looking for a way to gain something from publicity.